Once upon a time, your girl here took a trip to Paris. Well, actually, it was only 2 weeks ago. And for those of you who have ever learned a language, like really intensely, and you've left it for a while, then suddenly been plopped into a situation where you have to speak it and you have to use it on a pretty good level, then you will definitely know this feeling. This is the expectation.
Je pense pas qu'on aurait un problème avec l'alcool, mais quand on sort avec les amis.
And this is what actually happens.
Et tu peux
Yes.
raconter
Raconter l'histoire.
Oui. Raconte l'histoire de la hexe.
De la-
How do you say hexe?
Elle voulait de l'argent. Elle avait besoin de...
Et tu ne l'avais vu
Mais-
pas avec cette chose. Comment ça dit?
So what do you do in a situation like that? How can you really get your language skills up to the level that they once were? The answer is Lingoda's 3-month language marathon, and you guys have the possibility to get a 100% refund on all of the lessons that you pay for.
Hello busy linguists and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I was in Paris a couple of weeks ago with my friend Gabriel Polyglota. And let me tell you, after having studied French for about 7 years, so I took it in high school, I learned it at university, so yeah, it comes to about 7 years in total. My expectation of me going to Paris was something like this.
Parce que Gabriel, j'ai besoin de te montrer comment utiliser l'Instagram parce qu'il est nul.
But the reality was that my French definitely was in need of improvement. And I mean, my French is not bad. It was at a B2 level at some stage, close to C1 actually. But you know, just like with anything, if you don't practice it and you don't use it as much in your day-to-day life, in this case with a language, it does seem to disappear a little bit. So over the past few months, I have been keeping up with my French by watching Netflix and responding to French comments here and there, as well as reading some books, reading text online. But it is nowhere near, you know, the amount of effort I wish I could be putting in. I mean, it's a tough thing, especially when you're interested in so many different languages, and also, you know, I'm building my business, I'm teaching, I'm working on this YouTube channel, I'm working on launching a product, so finding the time to keep up all of the languages that I would like to keep up, as well as, you know, finding a way to also be accountable for that, because guys, let's all be honest, we sometimes plan things into our calendar and we're really ambitious when we do it. We're like, yes, this is gonna happen, I'm gonna study French here, I'm gonna study French there. If you see my calendar, it says at 10 p.m. every evening I'm gonna do 30 minutes of language study. Does that happen? Well, no. So I realized that I really needed someone to push me, and if you guys are in the same boat, then I have something special for you. So if you've ever heard of a marathon or a half marathon, which involves a lot of exercise, but you know, training up for a marathon gets you super fit, imagine this. A marathon for language learning, which is what is starting on Lingoda on May 27th and it goes until August 24th. So there is a language marathon that I am taking part in, and if you guys, this is your call for action. If you are studying English, Spanish, French, German or business English and you really need that boost in your language learning and you want to be kept accountable and achieve really big things, if you're determined, if you're motivated, then join me on this challenge. So before I tell you all about it, I just want to mention that this video is sponsored by Lingoda, and I myself have been using the platform in recent weeks because this trip to Paris really made me realize I need to get my shit together and really practice my French every day to get it back to the level that it used to be. So before I tell you how to sign up for the marathon, where you can join me and thousands of other language learners taking their language learning to the next level as busy individuals, which is actually the kind of key point that I really want to touch on, because being a busy individual entails that we don't have a lot of time, and you know, we have other priorities, and you really need a strong goal or someone to push you to really have the motivation to keep going and to keep improving your languages, especially if you've left a language for a little while. So for me this was French, and honestly just signing up to this challenge gave me that immediate motivation to be like, okay, Lena, you've done it, you've signed up to it, you've got to do it. So I signed up to the half marathon first of all, but if you think that you have time every single day, then you should sign up for the full marathon. And what the great thing is that you do not need to go to any classroom. I mean, in essence, you don't really even need to get out of your bed because it's all online. The platform has group lessons, individual lessons, and different modules that you can choose for yourself based around your goals. So for me, I really wasn't interested in learning about, you know, politics or whatever. And as soon as I saw some of the topics, I was like, oh, this reminds me way too much of my French grammar classes and lessons at university. And then I saw some other topics and I was like, wow, this really ties in so well with what I actually want to learn, because I am all about learning stuff that is relevant to your life. And when I was in Paris, I picked up this Cosmopolitan magazine, which I've been using to learn with. And this is one of my key pieces of advice. If you're looking for a resource that you actually would enjoy using, but you don't want it to be boring, you're sick of flashcards, you're sick of, you know, having these exercises with 10 grammar questions a day, then pick up something like this. But the thing I then found was that it's all well and good for me to read these articles, which are super interesting. Let me tell you, they're super interesting. But I'm lacking that speaking practice, and I really want to actually be able to talk about the topics that are in here with someone, with a teacher, with a native speaker, and someone who can actually explain certain things. Like, you know, there are some weird ass words in here that I think are just French slang, and you won't really find that in any textbooks. And this is another reason why this marathon by Lingoda is super great, because the lessons that you pick are totally up to you. So you can pick anything, just book a lesson with a teacher, and voila, it's set and you're ready to go. And in this marathon, you can take a class every single day for 3 months. Can you imagine where you are gonna be? Just take a moment right now and picture yourself where you are gonna be in 3 months. And I would also set something to reward myself after this marathon challenge. So for me, I'm really gonna go back to Paris, or maybe record even a full video in French. Yes, you better keep me accountable to that, guys. And I can guarantee you're gonna see results so quickly because you're immersing yourself in the language every single day without needing to actually travel anywhere or having to go to a German or Spanish or French or English speaking country. You can do it from the comfort of your own home and even get some friends to join you, because there is nothing like a friendly competition. And I have a discount code for you. So normally signing up to the challenge costs €5, but if you use my code, which is SPEAK47, you guys can sign up to it at no cost at all. However, there are some important rules to be followed with the marathon, so listen up closely, because the refund will only apply if you follow the following rules. So first of all, with the marathon you have two options. You can either go for the full marathon, which is 30 lessons every month for 3 months, and then the half marathon, which consists of 15 lessons in a month over the course of 3 months. So the marathon is a 3-month challenge and you have to pay for the classes monthly. And the refund will come if you follow the rules, so you will find them all below in the description box. And the important thing is, if you sign up for the full marathon and you follow all of the rules, you can get 100% of your lessons, so all of your lessons refunded. So that's just for the full marathon. If you, however, take part in the half marathon, because you're doing half the work, you can get 50% of your lessons back, so refunded. But the key things to take into account is, first of all, that the marathon only applies to group lessons. So with Lingoda, you have a choice of booking private lessons and group lessons, but the marathon will only count, or the lessons will only count for the marathon if they are group lessons. And I think this is really awesome because it's actually a lot more fun when you have other people kind of that you're, you know, working together with, that you're learning with, and you're all kind of competing a bit with each other. So the marathon is only for group lessons, as mentioned, and you need to also show up for the lessons on time, be an active participant, and complete all of the lessons entirely to then be even eligible for the refund at the end. So guys, let's get cracking. Whether you're learning a language for your next summer holiday, you need to step it up, you're doing it for school, university, or just for pure pleasure, let's get onto that marathon. All of the links are below, and join me and let's empower each other, no matter how busy we are, to step up our language learning and do this marathon together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave them below underneath this video, or have a look at the links in the description box. Subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed, and don't forget to hit that bell button to never miss out on a video from the Busy Linguist. And à la prochaine, mes busy linguistes. Ciao!